Welcome, everybody. It is week 11. And, yeah, weather's fucking crazy. Behind me, it was just raining like a mofo. And now it's just really windy. I don't know. It might start pouring down here. But let's get into it. Hold on, where's this motherfucking microphone? All right. Week 10 happened. And the Quailmen took down the Tanks. Pretty simple. The Finesse took down the Tiger Sharks in a big game by 2 touchdowns there. Finesse looking mighty fine. We'll get into them a little bit later. The Dumpster Fire were able to take down the Cavs. The Heaters were able to win a 2-touchdown game over the Cartel and securing their place as not the worst in the league. And the Trolls trounced the Rune Dogs, and the Voyagers, again, got another very, very close win. 5 points over the Midlands Mothmen. And looking at week 11 now, nothing's changed standings-wise, but as you can see, doing some calculations, the Trolls and the Dumpster Fire pretty much mathematically clinched the playoffs. They haven't clinched their divisions just yet. Again, they can still possibly not get in the playoffs, but they would have to get outscored by various teams by over 200, 300 points over the remaining 4 games. Ain't going to happen. So the Trolls and the Dumpster Fire have clinched the playoffs. The Tanks and the Cartel have definitely been eliminated. They are mathematically impossible. They cannot make the playoffs. They are done. We all saw this one coming from week 1, but here it is today. The Voyagers have like a 99.9% chance to make the playoffs. They got a 3-game lead in the West now after the Cavs loss and the Voyagers win. Trolls now have a 2-game lead on the Tiger Sharks after they lost, and the Dumpster Fire increased their lead to a 3-game lead as well. So it's looking like the Voyagers, Trolls, and the Dumpster Fire are going to win their respective divisions. However, we still have divisional play coming up after this week. But the rest of the league is now completely wide open. The Cavs, Mothmen, and the Quailmen are all sitting at 5-5. The Tiger Sharks are kind of just sitting there chilling. They have a 2-game lead on the Quailmen and 2-game lead on the Mothmen and Cavaliers as well. 3 games on the Rune Dogs and the Finesse, and 4 on the Heaters. Heaters are not dead yet, but man, 1 more loss and they're out. So Heaters got to win out to basically have a chance to get in the playoffs. I don't really know what their shit looks like when it comes to mathematics there, but I know it's pretty grim. Let me look here. Heaters have a less than 1% chance to make the playoffs, and if they do, it'll be the 6th seed, of course. So yeah, they're not done. They're still alive. They got a pulse, but it's going to be tough. But with the Rune Dogs losing and the Finesse winning, the Finesse are now kind of back in it. They're only a game back, on the Cavs, Mothmen. So there's now 2 spots that are pretty much up for grabs here. And any one of those 5 Mothmen, Rune Dogs, Quailmen, Cavaliers, or Finesse can take those final 2 spots. And it's going to be real crazy here in the last 4 weeks of the season, especially next week when we get back into divisional play. Let's get into the power rankings, though. Coming in at number 12, you got the Tanks. Trash. Coming in at number 11, dropping down a spot, you got the Cartel. You lost to the number 10, Hickory Grove Heaters. So, yeah, the bottom 3 are the bottom 3 right now. It's probably not going to change unless, hey, the Heaters moved up. Who knows? Coming in at number 9, had to drop them down a couple of spots. You got the Long Island Rune Dogs. This team is just underperforming all year, and they just can't seem to get a win streak. And, I mean, they're playing tough teams, out there in the East. And then they just got beat by the Trolls. So it's going to be a real tough road for them. However, it's not all done just yet for the Rune Dogs. They've got the Heaters this week, which should be a win, but Who knows? And then they have the Cartel next week. And then they have the Dumpster Fire, which would be tough. And then they have the Mothmen. So if they can reel off 2 wins, they'll be back to 6-6. Then they'll play the Dumpster Fire, probably a loss there. 6-7. It's going to be really tough for them. They're going to have to finish, again, 7-7 or maybe 8-6 to get them into the playoffs. But again, there's lots of 5-5 teams, so the chance is still there for the Roondogs to do it. Coming in at number 8, you got the Cameron Cavaliers. Same shit as the Roondogs. They just can't really get anything going. Again, since the beginning of the year, but that's been 2 months ago now, and this team is just looking solid at times, and then other times just inept. But they have a big game this week against the Mothmen, and they're going to need to pick up that win, because if they don't, it's going to be a tough road the rest of the way, because later on down the road, they got the number 7 team, the LA Finesse. E-Man squad looked dead to rights the first 7 weeks of the season, but now they've won the last 3 of their last 4, with the only loss coming to the Trolls. So this team is looking very, very not good, but they're looking okay enough to maybe get in the playoffs. They've got to, of course, win a couple of more, excuse me, to sneak their way in there, but they're not dead just yet. Coming in at number 6, you got the French Quarter Quailmen, and Dan's squad looking at 5-5, and they have a tough game this week against the Finesse. So big time matchup there, and man, it's going to be a crazy end of the year, even crazier than years past. So I'm pretty excited for that shit. Coming in at number 5, you got the Midlands Mothmen. I don't know where to put this fucking team. I don't know if because at times they look like they're top 5, other times they look like they're bottom 5. It's tough to put them anywhere. Again, there's only 4 teams with winning records in the league right now, and the Mothmen, I think, are the best of the teams that don't have a winning record. But that's still good enough to get in the playoffs this year, it seems. Coming in at number 4, fuck me, it's starting to rain. Hold up, man. Fucking hell, I ain't gonna pause this shit. Fuck. Jesus. Rain is fucking crazy. All right. Coming in at number 4, you got the Tampa Bay Tiger Sharks. Did take a tough loss last week to the Dumpster Fire, right? No, I'm sorry. To who the hell did they lose to? To the Finesse. Sorry. They lost to the Finesse by 2 touchdowns. Tough game for them. But it's okay. They still have a 2-game lead on basically the rest of the league. And now this week they've got the Tanks. So, hey, they should be looking pretty good going forward. Coming in at number 3, you got the Vietnam Voyagers. Again, the luckiest team in the league. They're not scoring that many points on the year. But it's not Joe Ball, so to speak. It's just straight up fucking luck. And again, if we look at the team comparison tool, whatever thing that I've got here, with any other, team's schedule, they do look a little better, but the worst they would be is 4-6, and this is the best schedule that they have is their own. Any other schedule, they would have at least 1 fewer loss, except for if they played the Trolls schedule, they would be 8-2 as well. So yeah, the luckiest team in the league just keeps getting lucky, and they're going to need some more of that because they got the number 2 team in the league, the Columbia Dumpster Fire. Man, this team is kind of just, no one's really talking about them. Even though they're fucking 8-2, got the belt, double-time champs. But yeah, this team's just sitting here chilling, 8-2, looking fucking amazing. They probably still have a million damn draft picks. This is going to be a tough team for a long time. And they want to repeat and build that dynasty, start the dynasty, so to speak. But they got to get past the number 1 team, and that is the Charleston Trolls. 9-1, just blazing through everybody. Again, I mean, what the fuck? What are their average scores on the year? It's just bananas. What have they scored? They've scored almost 1,500 points. Almost 1,500. They have 1,493 points. How many games have we played? 10, right? I don't know why I'm doing the math. I just moved the fucking decimal over. It's 150 points a fucking game. Easy. And that's just crazy. You score 150, you're almost guaranteed to win any given week. And this team just keeps shattering. I don't know what the record is for the most points scored over an entire season. But the Trolls may be getting close to that. I think the Dumpster Fire probably have that record. Maybe the Rune Dogs have it from a few years ago. But the Dumpster Fire are not that far back. They're only about 40 points behind the Trolls on the year. But after that, after 1,400, no one's got 1,300 on the year. The next best team, the Voyagers, only have 1,272. And actually the Mothmen have 1,279. So, yeah, it's a little crazy out here. The top two teams are just far and away scoring way more than everybody else. And personally, I hope it changes. But let's get into the matchups. Matchup number 1, you got the 2-8 Miami Cartel at the 9-1 Charleston Trolls. And right now, where the hell are my matchups? Man. Oh, yeah, it hasn't started yet. This game kicks off at, I think, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time because there is nobody playing in the early Spain game window today. They're playing, I think it's the Dolphins and the Commies are playing at 9:30 a.m., but no one is playing in that game from these two teams, so their kickoff is at 1 p.m. Right now, of course, it's got the Trolls only up by 3 touchdowns. Not even 3 touchdowns, only 18 points, which I guess is 3 touchdowns. But that's fairly alarming, but again, we can't trust this fucking predictor. It says 134. This team has averaged 2 touchdowns over the expected every single week. So, and the Cartel have been looking better, but this should be a blowout. Look for the Cartel, though, to try to keep it close at any point in this game. Try and get, some backups in there, some reps, because that's what the Trolls are going to be doing by halftime most likely. Matchup number 2. You got the 4-6 Long Island Rune Dogs at the 3-7 Hickory Grove Heaters. And right now, the Heaters jumped out to a big 30-3 lead. Basically, it's almost halftime. Where have we seen this score before? Now, I think, it's got the Heaters. Vegas has got the Heaters winning this game by a point. Maybe. It could happen. It looks like the Rune Dogs have got Darius Slayton in, which is strange. He's ruled out, but his points are still registered on Sleeper. So even if she puts in, I don't know, probably Cooper Kupp, who has just been kind of trash lately. I don't know. This could be the day where the Heaters could basically bounce the Rune Dogs out of the playoffs, because I think if either of these teams lose, they're basically out, just depending on you're looking at what divisions they're in. But both teams are going to come out fighting. Obviously, Hickory Grove has jumped out to a big lead, but the Rune Dogs are going to, they're not going to quit so easy. Look for them to make it close here in the second half. Matchup number 3, you got the 7-3 Tampa Bay Tiger Sharks at the winless 0-10 Tiananmen Square Tanks. Right now, though, the Tanks have jumped out to a 20-7 lead. I think it's in the second quarter now. And I mean, the Tanks are the Tanks, and the Sharks just came off of a tough loss last week. Vegas has got the Sharks winning this by 4 touchdowns. So I expect that score to pretty much hold up. There is no however on that one. Yeah. Matchup number 4. Big game right here. You got the 5-5 French Quarter Quailmen at the 4-6 LA Finesse. The Finesse have jumped out to a 15-0 lead. Vegas has got the Finesse winning by a touchdown. This should be a very, very good game, I think, and a very close game, and a very important game when it comes to matchups. Matchups, obviously, but playoffs. Because say the Finesse win, both of these teams become 5-6, and if it gets down to, say, tiebreaker shit, it's not going to look good for the losing team, i.e. the Quailmen. If the Quailmen win, they get above 500 again, and the Finesse are not eliminated, but pretty much. They do have a better chance of making the playoffs just because the team in front of them, the Cavs, aren't looking as hot. So they still have a decent chance if the Finesse lose, but of course they don't want to do that. They want to win. Again, the Finesse are up 2 touchdowns. This should be a good game here. Mahomes is at Denver, though, so that'll be a tough one for him. I think they've already played at Denver, haven't they? No, they haven't. So it'll be tough against a tough Denver defense, but we'll see. This is a big matchup. I'm definitely going to tune into this one. Rivalry game of the week. You got the 5-5 Midlands Mothmen at the 5-5 Cameron Cavaliers. The Mothmen are up 9-0 in the first quarter. This is a big matchup here because, again, same with the last game where it's all about playoff seeding, and you could potentially knock somebody out with a win here. Not mathematically, but spiritually. And it may just hurt the person who lost this. They may give up. They see under 500, and they may just fucking quit. But Mothmen, Cavs, both of these teams have just kind of looked meh over the last month and a half or so. And I honestly think the winner of this game is going to go to the playoffs, and the loser is going to be out. So we'll see. Again, Vegas has got this one, though. They've got the Mothmen winning by 2 touchdowns here. Almost 3, actually. Yeah. About 2.5 touchdowns, 17 points or so. So look for the Mothmen to take it to the Cavs. Game of the week. There wasn't necessarily a game of the week, but I just kind of figured this would be it since Sam didn't mention it. But both of these teams are 8-2, rematch of the championship game last year. The 8-2 Vietnam Voyagers at the 8-2 reigning champ Columbia Dumpster Fire. And this game has not kicked off just yet. It will kick off at 9:30 a.m., so in about an hour from recording this right now. Vegas has got the Dumpster Fire winning by 2 touchdowns, though, at home. It's going to be real tough. They're going to put in, it looks like they're going to put in Brian Thomas Jr. On offense, but I don't think he's playing. And the Voyagers are still missing Bucky Irving. Bucky hasn't been in since the first month of the fucking year. But yeah, this should be a good matchup. It's going to be Flacco versus Allen, Achane versus CMC. And we're going to looking and praying for Justin Jefferson to do something. Jefferson versus Jamar Chase. You got the LSU guys, doing battle. And you got 2 very good tight ends, young tight ends. I mean, this is a prime time game. I think it's going to come down to the flex spot. Dumpster Fire are going to roll with Kyron Williams at running back, and the Voyagers looks like they're going to go with George Kittle at their flex, their second flex spot, I guess, but the main flex. And whichever of those guys can have a big day will drastically increase their chances of winning. Tune into this shit in an hour. Let's get on to the predictions. Thank you, Sam, for making your weed picks this week. That was a shit show, but it was funny. Last week, though, Rabo went 4-2 on his picks. Pretty solid. We're looking okay on the year overall, 57%. Let's try to get that to 60, damn it. But Sam made his picks this week. He's got the Trolls over his hometown Cartel. I think that's the first... No, it was the second game this year where someone's picked against their own team. It worked for Rabo last week. probably work for Sam this week. I mean, it's the fucking Trolls. So, yeah, it is a rivalry game. Should be pretty heated down there. Speaking of the Heaters, he's got the Heaters beating the Dogs and potentially knocking them out of the playoffs and pulling them out right down with them. Drag me to hell fucking style. He's got the Tiger Sharks over the Tanks. Easy pick. He's got the Finesse over the Quailmen in it's a rivalry game, quasi-rivalry game. Big time game, though. Very important game. Those bottom three are big time. He's got the Mothmen over the Cavs in the rivalry game of the week, which I don't know much about this rivalry personally. I don't know if I've ever seen these two interact before. Maybe. I don't know. If I do, we were probably drinking a lot, so I don't remember, but sure, rivalry game. And then the game of the week, he's got the Dumpster Fire over the Voyagers. Fairly safe pick, but hey, we beat the spread almost every fucking game this year. On to golf. Again, why am I writing this shit down? This is stupid. So Graydon got 5 more birdies last week. He's now sitting at 24 under par. Second place Hunter is at 7. This motherfucker has got 3 times the amount of birdies as the next place guy. This is unprecedented, insane, and I don't think it's even remotely possible for Graydon to not win. And we still have 4 weeks left. I think it's almost mathematically impossible for him to not get it. Even if he starts his bench over everybody, picks up an extra DN, cornerback, and linebacker just to have on the bench to get bogeys, and he starts his bench, and he picks up a kicker just to sit there, I think he would still fucking win this damn thing. So I'm not crowning him just yet, but Graydon is running away with this. I mean, this is tough. Some other notables this week, though, just because. Chunks got 3 bogeys, trash. I got 2 birdies, okay, cool. And that's really about it. Nothing too crazy anywhere else. Graydon hogged all of the fucking birdies again. So, you know, that's awesome. Yeah, fucking 17 strokes up. And none of us even have 17. Not even Rybo is 17 over. This is fucking stupid. Yeah, let's get the hell out of here. I saw this earlier today and I just had to put it up. I couldn't find anything better, honestly. I just thought it was funny. But yeah, good luck everybody this week. Again, Spain game is at 9:30 a.m. I mean, it's the Dolphins and the Commies. I mean, both of those teams are 3-7, so you could probably skip it. But hey, you know, if you got some fantasy guys going in, which I don't think anyone does except for P-Man with Waddle and me with Achan, but that's about it. Yeah, it's a pretty trash game. I don't think anyone's going to tune into that shit. But yeah, 9:30 start for that one, so get your guys in before that if you freaking want to start somebody there. But yeah, otherwise, good luck, guys, and I'll see you next week. Okay, bye.